show for you today. I'm super excited to be hosting this with my good friend, Chef Carrie Baird. We worked together for a long time, and obviously you all know her from her stint on Top Chef. And we have a couple other really awesome guests today. From Top Chef, we have Joe Sasto from Southern California. Joe, thanks for coming on, man. We're super excited to have you here. I always am grateful for your advice when I'm in LA as to where to eat, so thank you for that, and welcome to the Modern Eater. And we have Joe Flamm, who will be joining us a little bit later, and we're going to talk about some stuff that's really fun. We're going to be making nachos, and we're going to talk a little bit about why, and we're going to talk about the Chef Fatima Foundation, which is something near and dear to Carrie and the Joe's hearts, and we're really excited to let everybody know what that's all about, and how they can help support that incredible foundation that is the legacy of an incredible woman. So, Carrie, welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
You got it. So, Carrie, you decided that we were going to do a nacho cook-off, okay? And so I'm, as the person that's not the chef, Joe, I don't know how this happens, I was told I cannot do traditional nachos. So I got thrown the big curveball here. So Carrie's going to do traditional nachos and get them going, or somewhat, quasi-traditional. And she's going to get going here in a little bit and cook while we talk a little bit about Fati and the foundation. And then we want to hear a little bit about what's going on with you, man. JoeSasto.com as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think traditional nachos, to me, the word traditional, like I try to eliminate that word from my vocabulary when I'm talking about food or things in general. Because for me, like tradition or traditional just means like something that's done over and over and over again for you, your family, you particular person, wherever you are.
Yeah.
So like what's traditional for me may not be traditional for you, but yet they're still both traditional. So it's hard to say with certainty or use traditional as a definition, because it's such a weird word, and I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but it's like every time it comes up, I always like to like kind of put that fork in the gear and try to like make people stop and think, because it's like, you know, Claudette Carrie, who you know, I think was like the first person who posed that to me, and she was like, you know, if it's tradition in my house to sit and eat cereal in our underwear every Christmas morning, that's a Christmas tradition. And you can say that's a Christmas tradition, even if you don't do it in your house. And no one can say it's not a Christmas tradition because she does it every year. And so it's just kind of like this words are powerful, and the way you use them and the way they're interpreted could like be used a lot of different ways. Yeah, so I'm curious to hear what kind of nachos you're making, Carrie. That's my long way of saying that.
Okay, so maybe we should backtrack a little and talk about why we're talking so much about nachos today.
100%. I need to hear this story.
So when Juan asked if I could co-host while Greg Hollenbach was out in the Modern Eater, I was like, of course. And then, you know, our dear Fati, we lost her 2 years ago, just last week. And so it got me thinking that I wanted to ask the Joes to come on and we can talk, and then like, how can we tie it in? And I was like, here comes the Super Bowl. And then Fatima made nachos one time on Top Chef with us, and it didn't bode well for her. She was kicked off that episode. And but so I was just thinking that and Joe is a nacho expert. It's his favorite food, and he loves to eat it. And so I was just thinking we could tie it in, like if the Joes and I made our like chefy nachos, and then Juan can make his version of nachos, and we can just have a little like recipe club discussion about, you know, a beautiful American food, like you know, American, I guess, is it? Kind of?
We don't know. Non-traditional.
I want to know the answer to that. Funny you say that, because I don't know if, and I mean, that's me, I guess, being uneducated on the matter for it being my favorite food group, on whether or not it's considered, here we go with the word again, traditional Mexican cuisine. Right. I mean, I know you could find like totopos, which are like chips tossed in sauce. And then, you could like, you know, it's almost like chilaquiles or kind of like nachos.
Yeah.
That's right.
So like, I'm sure at some point it devolved into our American version.
Well, Joe,
I think you could.
In our restaurants, we use the word inspired to describe what we're doing. So,
I like that word.
I know you've been up to Senor Bear and eaten Blake's food. We call it Latin-inspired cuisine for that reason. So I understand your thought process with all of this stuff. And Padró is Italian-inspired, and Mr. Oso's Mexican-inspired, and so so it's good to get your inspiration from somewhere. But I'm super excited because I see some ingredients on here that I wish you were here to try because it smells delicious. So tell us what we got.
Okay, so my inspiration today, I had a lot of help from the Whiskey Bear himself, Blake Edmonds, who's not only my life
very
partner.
Unfair competition, Joe.
It's true. Well,
getting ganged up on here.
Well, I mean, not to make excuses for myself, but it's been a long week, and I just needed a little bit of help. So Blake let me kind of shop at Mr. Oso.
As he should.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do, and we have these chips from Raclitas. Did I say it right? Racalitas?
Yes.
And so I'm having a hard time deciding which one. Do you remember what flavors they all are?
I believe these are chili, Pueblo red chili, and these have some hibiscus and coriander, I believe.
So good.
Cinnamon and clove. Hibiscus, cinnamon, and clove. Joe, have you ever had a hibiscus, cinnamon, and clove tortilla?
Look who's here.
I have it. Is it the tortilla that's infused with the flavors, or are they dusted on after it's
Look at this
fried?
thing. It's purple. Yeah, delicious.
They're delicious.
We have green chili,
awesome.
and we have some traditional tortillas as well. So there's that word again. So you got me thinking. I'm done.
Every time.
I'm in trouble.
Try to
I'm in
use it.
trouble.
I use classic and classical because to me that seems less defining and putting in a box than traditional. But I don't know. That could be just as
well,
bad.
like traditional Italian food, it's like it's traditional for this 10 feet of Italy till you go to another 10 feet, and then it's like,
a perfect
well, that's traditional
example.
at her house, but it's not traditional at my house, so it's obviously blasphemy, and no one likes that woman anyways.
So we should probably introduce this good-looking guy that just came and joined us. Thank you for coming on, Joe Flamm. We appreciate you being here. How are things? How's Chicago?
We got about a couple feet of snow outside, so things are good. But the sun's shining. They got the roads clear finally. So, not bad.
Awesome.
Did you shovel your sidewalks yet?
Yeah, I just shoveled 4 times in the last 24 hours.
Sounds miserable.
That's incredible. We haven't had much snow out here in Colorado this year.
No.
And in fact, we're going to be in the mid-60s this week.
Yeah.
So we're feeling pretty blessed because we get.
I think it's supposed to be single digits the rest of the week here.
But that's Chicago. You guys are tougher than us.
That's it. That's why I'm thicker. That's why I'm thicker than everybody else on the call.
Thicker. Okay. All right. So, Joe Sasto, are you going to be cooking nachos?
I have some nacho supplies. So I had a very long week as well. I was busy. And
So
I
we're gonna let you off the hook?
leftovers. I have leftover things from the fridge. And so I'm going to make a very untraditional version of nachos.
Okay.
I have like a set of ingredients, and I'll let Carrie do hers, and I think I'll do mine afterwards.
Yeah, you and I will do them together. Joe Flamm, tell me
Yes.
tell me about Fatima. What's your fondest memory of her?
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a real hot
That's a
one out of the
tough
gate
question.
there, bud.
Right?
I think one of the simplest, best memories of her, I think, the ultimate best memory is, cooking the finale with Joe and Fati. And just, I remember at the end of we had got done cooking. The awesome part of that, too, is, Carrie wasn't on our team, but we got to share the kitchen. You know what I mean? So me, Joe, Carrie, and Fati really got to cook, and Adrian and Chris got to cook together, on top of Aspen Mountain for the finale. And so sharing that moment with her, and, obviously not knowing in the time that would really probably be the last time we ever got to cook with her on that level. But, I remember even at the end of the dinner, I went to Joe and Fati and I said, whatever it is comes out of the end of this was, it was the best. We had a moment where this was the most fun we could have cooking, with people you love. And we felt like we put out a really good meal, and I didn't even really care from there. It was more just, that we got to have that experience together.
That's incredible. Joe Sasto, you guys all were competing with one another. How are you all such good friends?
Because even though it's a competition, I think the part that a lot of people don't remember or don't realize is that when the cameras aren't rolling, we're still living together. And so like we're in this bubble that we have no contact with the outside world. We don't have our cell phones. We don't have TV. We don't have music, no radio, nothing. And so we're just with each other. And so we're cooking dinner for each other every night. We're sharing stories. We're having breakfast together. We're getting ready. We leave the house. We come home together. And so it's like you're in this kind of boot camp scenario where even though you're competing, you're comrades in a way that bring everyone together, and you're going through this wild experience that no one else can really relate to. So you just naturally form these like really close, intense bonds.
Well, I think it was, we got to Telluride, Joe, and they finally had enough rooms for all of us to have our own rooms. But one of the rooms had like bunk beds in it. And you were like, no, me and Joe will just take that one.
So what all of Colorado really wants to know is what's it like to have to live with Carrie?
Oh, come on.
Man.
One of my favorite memories of Fati is the night I got kicked off. Mm-hmm. So they put when you get kicked off, you all go to the same like hotel room or suite or something. Okay. But all the beds were gone. And so I got to big spoon Fati for 3 days till they found me a bed.
Okay.
It was awesome. But she was there. She caught me. She licked my wounds. It was just, she was just the most generous ever.
That's amazing, and I know how competitive.
And also living with Carrie is awesome because Carrie's an awesome roommate, and she likes to drink lots of rosé and late-night whiskey and just tell stories and sing songs. And I don't know if you know this about Carrie. I think this is like a low-key Carrie fact. Carrie has an amazing voice.
I did not know that,
she
and
knows
I
the
am
words.
so grateful for you for sharing this with me.
Every song that's ever been written. Period. You'd be like 90s Brooks and Dunn, the Idaho State song, whatever weird 90s hip hop. And Carrie's like, oh yeah, I know every word of that song because, like she has some like weird story. We're like, yeah, I cooked on a surf camp for E40 for 3 years or something. You're like, what?
Right.
E40 surfs? She's like, they're from the Bay.
Very well.
We have a new guest.
Yes.
Mo!
Yes, everyone, please meet Mo Ali. This is Fatima's brother.
Mo, what a pleasure it is to have you. We thank you so much for taking a little bit of time with us today. And I know that in speaking with Carrie and the Joes, we're super excited to honor your sister.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and it's an honor to join you guys.
Tell us high level about the Chef Fatima Foundation.
High level. So Chef Fatima Foundation is really just a way for us to keep going with some of the things that Fatima started. She was big on, inspiring other chefs, young women, especially from this part of the world. So we want to enable that. One of the things we want to do is get to a position where we can start training chefs here, sending them abroad to kitchens, in the U.S., like Joe's hopefully new kitchen that we're all very excited for, Rosemary, which is going to come out, and I think Fatima was also really big on feeding kids. So one of the big things I'm working on right now is setting up a food truck, and the idea behind the food truck really is that it goes around. There's lots of orphanages around here. There's a lot of kids on the streets over here just hustling, and we want to be able to give them, just a little special treat. So the food truck's number one for me right now. Chef Exchange is when I'm going to be calling in guests from around the world, chefs from around the world, to come experience Pakistan, learn about Pakistan, be inspired by their time over here, and learn about the food that, Fatima grew up with, that she was so passionate about, and that she wanted more people to understand. So we've got quite a lot of things going. It's going to be baby steps for us, one thing at a time. But I'm just excited to get going with it. I think it's the best way we know to do something, with something like as tragic as what's happened with Fatima. It's just the best thing I feel we can do. It makes me feel closer to her.
Well, she's left quite a legacy, that's for sure. And it's cool that you're carrying that on in her name. So that's amazing. So I gotta ask you, how often did your sister cook for you?
Less than I wanted.
Yeah.
Most of the time, Fatih, when I was in the States, at least, the fact is I was in Australia, And I left for university a few years before she did. She went to New York and Poughkeepsie to the CIA, and I kind of left for Sydney. And I lived there, and we didn't see each other for a few years. And, I'd always, I started getting into cooking when I was in Sydney on my own, and I was, missing, good food in my uni days when I couldn't afford to eat out too fancy. So I used to always be picking her brain, how do I do this? How do I do that? And so she'd be telling me, this is how you do the steak, and this is how you do the thing. So we kept connected, and then every time we'd see each other in Pakistan, one of the big things she used to do here was she used to always host a big feast, and everybody was super stoked to be there, to eat her food, to just experience that, because she had a gift, when it came to cooking. So not as often as I would have wanted.
Well, it sounds like those feasts were pretty special. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah. Mo, where are you right now? Where are you?
I'm in Lahore, where it's currently 2:20 a.m. Okay, just letting you know.
Oh wow,
2:20 a.m. This is.
If I'm not sharp right now, okay, it's because I'm just.
You sound you sound much better than any of us would at 2:20 a.m. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, you sound much more sober than any of us would at 2:28 a.m. That's for sure. This was me carrying Joe right now. This conversation would have to be met with a heavy sensor.
Yeah.
A nice big long
Mo,
delay.
do you guys have financial goals for the foundation? I mean, is there a certain amount of money you're trying to raise, and tell us how we go about promoting the foundation and getting people to donate.
Yeah, so for us, it's the more the better. To be honest, we just launched a campaign where we were able to raise a good amount of money. We actually were wanting to feed a bunch of kids. So we had a target of, I think it was something around the $1,500 mark for 500 kids. And we shot past that. So, we've been able to achieve that. And then the rest of the money is going to the truck. The website is really the best place, and our Instagram is the best place you can kind of keep track. What I'm doing right now is setting up a 501c in the US so that all of, Fatih's big supporters and all of our friends in the U.S. can also potentially give through that. But in the meantime, you can send money to the accounts that we've got over here.
Okay.
We're set up in Pakistan. All that information is going to be on the website. But give us a day or two, because we're just working a few kinks out. We launched and we got to iron out a few things.
So you said $1,500 feeds 500 kids in Pakistan?
That's right. It was a pretty good deal for them. We're really lucky over here. We've got great support. I have somebody very close to us who owns a restaurant, so I get to just hijack it whenever I need to. I don't have a lot of overhead, so for me it ends up being just the food cost. And so we were able to make, basically, we took Fatih used to have a stall at Smorgasburg in Brooklyn. And she used to make this thing called the fried chicken biryani. And
I love that place.
Yeah, and I took that recipe and I turned it into a burger. And it was a fried chicken burger, basically, with some chips inside of it. We gave them a pack of juice, gingerbread cookies, because that was something that Fatih used to love as a kid, and her favorite pack of chips. And that's how much it cost us. It's it's not a heap. Luckily, so we can really make the dollar go far.
Well, I'll tell you what, you let Carrie know when we can get on there, and I want to feed 500 kids. So you got $1,500 from me coming right when that's ready.
Oh, that's nice of you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to be sending photos and everything too. So
awesome.
Stay on our Insta, and you'll see us doing all sorts of good stuff.
Incredible work you're doing, man. Really appreciate, you carrying on an incredible legacy, and it's going to build a legacy for yourself as well. That's great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. And it's with everybody around us that makes it easy for us. Flamm, Sasto, Carrie, the whole Top Chef family, so many others. It's just Fatma's second year anniversary was coming up on the 25th, and it's always a really heavy time. And this year, the anxiety going into the date and all the memories and stuff that makes you sad, with just so much love around us, we're blessed. We really can't thank everybody enough, and we're so happy to be connected with, the great people that are on this podcast right now.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing.
Well, once we get the restaurant up and running, I think we need a Carrie Sasto Flamm dinner to get some funds going for the Chef Fatima Foundation. If you're down, Mr. Mo, maybe we'll get out there. We should get out there and make you cook, because nothing would have made Fatima happier than like you sweating your ass off in a kitchen, getting yelled at by the three of us.
Yeah,
I think really, really would invoke the true memory of Fati. And would have her really smiling down, watching you get worked over out of light all day.
I am down. You tell me when it is. I will fly there and I will be in the kitchen and you work me to the bone. I'm more than happy to do it.
I'm going to lobby for that dinner to be in Colorado, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I love Colorado. That's an easy sell for me.
Sasto, you'll have to get a coat, a big warm winter coat.
Yeah, as long as I have my winter Parker, I'll be fine in either place, Chicago or Denver.
All right, guys. We got Mo. Thank you so much for being on. We got to take a break. If you can stick around, feel free, but it's late. Feel free to go to bed, too. And we appreciate you so much for coming on. And I'm excited to donate to the foundation, and we're excited to share the great work that you're doing all over the place with all our contacts.
Thank you.
We love you, Mo. Thank you.
Love you, Mo.
Love you too.
Good to see you.
You too.
So we are going to go off to break, and when we come back, we're going to be sampling Chef Carrie Baird's nachos. Pretty exciting stuff.
Guys, great news. I found nacho ingredients.
Perfect.
Perks of living with a pregnant woman.
We'll be right back.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? This is Brother Luck from Lucky Dumpling, 4 by Brother Luck in Colorado Springs, and I am rocking with the Modern Eater. You're watching them, you're tasting them, you're knowing everything there is to know about Colorado.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here. Our new Belgian Abbey 4-pack is a mixed package of the 4 core beers made in Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So we have a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple in one package. Now, quadruples are the emperors of Belgian monastery ales. They're dark in color, with a dense tan head, and alcohol ranging from 8 to 12%, so they're pretty strong. Quadruples are very rich and complex with big maltiness, spice, and flavors of raisins, cherries, and plums. Alcohol is apparent in the mouthfeel, but not overwhelming, even at 10.5% ABV. So the finish is long, complex, and dry, and they're great beers anytime, by themselves or with hearty foods. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver metro area. Take home some Belgian-style badassery today.
Studio Kitchen Colorado also houses Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start in the evenings, Monday through Thursdays. It's a 3-week course. It's a gimme. It's free to you. Whether you're a home cook, you want to get into the business, or you just want to sharpen your skills, Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start is for you. After the segment that we play for you from Proud Souls, we're going to jump to another segment that was pasta making right in this kitchen last night. Making education cool again. That's what we're doing. And people, I'll tell you what. If you like to watch people cook food and you like to participate and you want to be involved in community, food, and the efforts that takes place right here at Studio Kitchen Colorado, go to the Modern Eater website, themoderneater.com. Click on the Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. What you will see there are 2 things. A way to sign up if you want to be a student, and a way to grab students for your kitchen if you are a restaurateur, a manager, what have you. If you're in the business or you want to be in the business, this is for you. Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start.
Hi.
Back to the show.
This is for the outtake version.
What's up, Denver?
I'm Chef Natasha Hess, and this is Chef Carrie Baird, and we are at the Ginger Pig.
Check us out, gingerpig.com. You can also see us on the moderneater.com. Thanks, everybody. It's cornstarch.
I know. It's cool.
All right, welcome back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado, home of The Modern Eater. And this segment is brought to you by Elevation Food and Service. We're super excited to be bringing you this incredible show with Chef Carrie Baird, who's making her nachos over here, finishing her nachos, Chef Joe Sasto from Southern California, and Chef Joe Flamm from Chicago, who is currently taking care of his child. And we had Mo, Chef Fatima's brother, call in at 2:20 in the morning from Pakistan. What an incredible guy that is. And we're super excited to talk about the Chef Fatima Foundation a little bit more, and hopefully, folks that are listening to the show today will head out to that to that website and to the Instagram and donate some money, and let's help feed the children and get this food truck up and running. Great mission. So, Carrie?
Yes.
What do we got going over here?
Well, so I'm just finishing up my Blake Edmonds inspired nachos. But so I have 3 different flavors of chips. Mm-hmm. I did a coconut braised pork shoulder. It's in there. You can't see it. It's super, super yummy. I just finished with lime, black beans. I have a spicy rojo salsa, pickled jalapenos, and queso. I have 2 types of cheese, queso and then queso Oaxaca. So
amazing,
delicious.
And I know those are going to be delicious. I can see the ingredients are incredible. They're colorful.
Yes.
Joe, you're getting going on camera over here. What do we got?
Yeah, see, I'm going the other route. I didn't have Whiskey Bear helping me out with all of my mise en place, so I actually had to go deep into my refrigerator and see what I had around. But since I consider myself a nacho connoisseur, and I'm always prepared for a nacho emergency, so even when Carrie asked me last minute to be here on the show, I knew no matter what, I would have what it takes to get nachos on the table. So I have my chips here on the side. I have some crema and avocado, which if we're talking about the components of nacho, I think you always need a crema. Do you have a crema on yours, Carrie? Something creamy?
Queso. I have queso.
Queso, okay.
But
so
let me reiterate, my pork was braised in coconut milk, so it's
so I think that kind
creamy.
of, if it's saucy, you're
saucy.
kind of there.
Awesome. Well, we're looking
so I'm doing my cream and avocado together because I don't have a lot of either. So I'm kind of bulking that out. Some cilantro and green onions. And then what do I have? I have some pork sausage, some Italian pork sausage, just reheated in the microwave because I'm super fancy over here. You don't even have to get a pan dirty. And then, fortunately enough, I always keep nacho cheese. This is like a Parmesan fondue, actually, because we are a little fancy over here in California. And so I'm going to do, because I want your opinion on this, and I thought about this in advance, and I wanted to hear what your guys' thoughts were. So I'm going to kind of go against the grain once again. And I have a separate bowl. I'm going to put my cheese sauce in the bowl. I'm going to top my cheese sauce with my meat. And then we're going to put a little bit of our guac and crema.
Get out of here. You can't mix the hot and the cold.
Oh.
Wait, whoa. That's not the part that I'm concerned with, because you could absolutely do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right.
What I am going to not do is put them on top of each other. Is it still nachos?
No.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
No, this is
The
a
answer's
dip.
no, but I understand the question.
Why is the answer no?
Because that is a dip.
That's a dip.
That's
you
a
have
dip.
chips and a dip.
You have chips and a dip.
Even though there's multiple components and layers to my dip.
Yeah.
That's it.
I do, however, commend you, though. You are not, even though I like it, but you're not going to have any soggy chips with this scenario.
This is true.
And they could stay out for days and hours.
Yeah. You're an innovator, Joe.
Yeah. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it.
You have some soggy chips in your pile already.
Yeah,
all right.
But that's okay because they're the best part. Do you remember that meal we had with Brother down in Colorado Springs, and we had the nachos, and then at the very bottom of the nachos, these genius people in Colorado Springs had put a flour tortilla.
Oh, yeah.
And then remember, you and Brother
school.
rolled it up and ate this crunchy burrito at the end of it.
Can we also mention that meal was consumed at like 3 a.m.? just for context.
Yes.
All right, so I have to do my nacho
lunch.
plate right here. I got to get my stuff going, and so I was asked to do an alternative version of nachos, and I have beef Penang. So I'm going to do a Thai curry nacho. So I have beef Penang. I have some basil, I have some green onions, I have some mozzarella, some lime, and I also have coconut, cream of coconut instead of a crema. So I'm going to put a little lime in there, and boom, that's what's going to happen. So I'm off.
All right.
Take over.
How is it,
You say hi
Joe?
to Joe? Say hi, Carrie.
Hi.
I'm very happy here. We got Little Flamm back in the building, everyone.
No, I can't quite see them. Well, I'm eating my nachos, and they are classic good, which we know they are.
Are they delicious? I got
I'm very happy with
pan
this.
to heat
And
up, so
can we
while I'm
get-
waiting for that.
Can we get Joe Flamm to weigh in on this?
Yeah.
Do we have
Am I eating nachos if I have all of my chips on the side and all of my toppings on the other side?
Pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's like the, you know, like how there's that one ramen where you like take the noodles and you dip it in the broth? It's the that of nachos.
Sukumen.
Yeah,
Exactly. And it's
That's right.
still ramen.
Superman ramen. So I'm getting my nachos going. I have the
Harry, I'm
Fritos
on your
brand
side.
jalapeno cheddar dip in a can. I'm going to serve it cold for the viscosity. Something we appreciate here in the Midwest. We like them thick.
A study in
3 Cs, you know?
texture.
I have a half a bag of local tortilla chips.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Yummy.
I have a giant baby. Dip one.
Are we going to get an introduction to the good-looking baby?
What's your name? Huh? Are you Luca?
Hi, Luca.
Luca, what are the Top Chef 2040? Luca, right there. All right.
Yeah. Luca Bear.
Joe
Are you on
Flamm,
chip?
have you ever heard of a hibiscus and clove and cinnamon tortilla chip?
No, I think I've had it as a cigarette, but not as a tortilla chip.
Well, that's what we're playing with today. Pretty awesome.
You've smoked it, but I've never eaten it.
Yeah. Those are like those Dejarum Blacks, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Luca. How was your nap? I haven't
Say
seen
hi to
Luca
Gary.
since he was just this big.
He's
I know,
like
that was
almost
like
the
a
size
week
of a
ago.
Sasto now.
Yeah.
Right, Luca? You being shy? Sometimes we're shy when we wake up from our nap.
Yeah. That was really great that Mo could call in.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Joe
That dude
Flamm,
rules.
Unbelievable, huh?
you've stayed in pretty good touch with Mo over the past 2 years, right?
Isn't it
We've
gorgeous?
talked we
got
talk a
some,
lot.
basil, serranos, chili paste,
We've been talking about like going to Lahore.
garlic, cumin.
So trying to figure that out. The logistics of it really
Yeah.
is not the easiest thing.
Totally.
So I was supposed to go like last October. So now he's talking about this October. And luckily Hillary's been like, you know, when it's clear to once there's an opportunity to go, you have to go. And we'll just figure it out. You know, how to make it work with kids and restaurant and everything.
Yeah. And
I just think it's one of those things. It's like when the opportunity presents itself, it's like if you don't do it, it's never going to happen.
right.
And it was something, you know, Fati and I always talked about and I always wanted to do. She was like, you know, you have to come to Pakistan. It was like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just a land of really bad Italian food and really, really beautiful women. She was like,
Yeah.
you'll love it.
She always told me that I'd have to come. She was going to take me to Pakistan for a 3-day wedding. And they party for 3 days straight for every wedding and how incredibly fun it was. And we were going to go someday. So you have to go and tell us how it is.
So is that one of the spots you and Blake are considering?
Good one. He'll like that. Tell us about Rosemary and your announcement, the little Flambina.
Yeah, so Luca's going to have a little baby sister come July 1st.
Really?
But before that, he's going to have another sibling in the form of a restaurant. Rosemary, hopefully, we're shooting for like mid-April at this point.
Oh, cool.
But it's 932 West Fulton, so Fulton Market, Chicago West Loop area. And it's, you know, Adriatic food, so Croatian, Italian, Balkan food. Just super wine focused and just like really fun stuff to eat, like while you're drinking wine and hanging out.
How much orange wine on that wine list?
There's going to be some orange wine on that wine list for sure.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, man. So we're opening up a cocktail bar here in Colorado, and I noticed that we were on the same list for top 15 anticipated openings for food and wine. So that's pretty,
right on.
That's pretty cool stuff, and it is.
So we'll have to have you guys come hang out at our bar, and I'll come hang out in your kitchen.
Listen, man, I cannot wait to come down to Chicago and eat at your places. So
it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome, and we'll all get out there. So
the last dinner I did before the shutdown, Carrie, was the epic Carrie Farewell tour at Bordeaux, where Joe Sasto made a guest appearance even.
I was thinking about that.
I surprised everyone.
And the crowd went wild.
That was so
That
fun.
was great.
All of a sudden, Joe and Bella were just standing in the room. Like, how'd you guys even get to Denver in winter?
Right. It was like a WWE production. Oh my God, it's Joe and Bella.
What? Joe Sasto, what have you been up to? I saw you were at Lazy Bear all week. What were you doing?
I was at Lazy Bear all week. I did. It was the first time I was back in a restaurant kitchen since February. So that was pretty. I mean, I'd done one other thing since being in the Bordeaux kitchen. But since February, and so after the shutdown, I moved everything virtually, and I've been teaching virtual classes, doing pasta classes, cooking classes. I would say at least once a month we're doing public classes, but a whole lot of private things, corporate events, team building exercises, things like that, all through Zoom or Google or all these different web things that have come on, and it's a lot of fun. And so it's the closest thing I've been getting to actually cooking for people is getting to cook with people. And so it's been really inspiring to kind of be in all these, for at the beginning we're strangers, by the end we're like best friends.
Do you see this
being in all of their homes?
Do you see this as something that's going to continue when we get some normalcy back and you're back in a normal kitchen? I mean, are you going to continue to do online courses, things like that? And where do we go to sign up for these? This sounds amazing.
So I think it has potential to continue on. I think especially in like the celebration team kind of thing, whether it's like you're celebrating a birthday and you have like family members from all around the country and everybody gets together on Sunday and cooks and I host and walk everyone through a recipe. Or it's for a corporate group and they want to get something really good for all of their employees and kind of celebrate everyone coming together. They just finished a big project. And so I think it works really well on either end of the spectrum, even as life goes back to normal, because people still like to cook. I think that's one thing this past year has taught all of us, is that cooking at home can be fun. It can be relaxing. It can be enjoyable. It doesn't need to be stressful. And so those are all the kind of things that I celebrate. And you can find out a whole bunch more about all of the classes, the public and the private versions on joesasto.com.
As an alumnus of his classes, I got to say they're pretty great.
One of the things that
Joe joins in occasionally and likes to give me a hard time.
One of the statistics
I saw, lucky enough,
which was amazing through COVID, was that 60% of America is fed through restaurants.
Isn't that crazy?
Can you guys talk about what's your reaction to a statistic like that? And I mean, how are restaurants and how are you guys in your communities, kind of contributing to to the healing process? That the country clearly is beginning to go through right now.
I live in a pretty tight-knit community on the south side of Chicago. So the people down here have been very, very much rallying around the places in the community and just making it a focus to whether they're making beer, selling food, whether they're selling pizzas, steaks, or hot dogs. You know what I mean? They're supporting them as much as they can. Me and some guys in the neighborhood, we've been doing a thing where we've been doing big bulk beer orders from local craft brew places where it's like I'll pick one and then I'll text all the guys I know, within 5 blocks of me, and I'll say, hey, I'm going to go pick up beer from this brewery. Who wants in? And so that we can spend, $600, $700, $800 as a total that's going to go right to this brewery, no middlemen, and get it in their pockets and buy, 10, 11 cases of beer, get them out throughout the neighborhood, and then, everybody wins. It's a nice, we get to drink beer and the breweries are supported.
And I love that, and I want to say something about that because I think breweries kind of got forgotten a little bit, as did some other businesses. You know, restaurants have been, and rightfully so, at the forefront of a lot of these conversations and stuff, but it's the whole ecosystem. It's the farmers, it's the breweries, it's the distillers, the bakers, all that kind of stuff. So I love that you're doing that. I think that is that's incredible stuff. What about what's going on in SoCal?
SoCal's an interesting place. I actually moved away from SoCal in the beginning of November. I'm back in the Bay Area, and I couldn't be happier. But it's one of those things where I think no matter what, restaurants, even historically, have always been that group that bands together and will be the first people to volunteer their times, to volunteer their resources, to help out others and their causes and fundraising and the community. And just whenever someone else needs help, it's usually the restaurants or the chefs that are the first people to kind of respond to things. And so it's been really great seeing the community responding back and ordering takeout and supporting restaurants in whatever way they can, whether they're just buying gift cards or buying swag and apparel and things like that to kind of keep them going. Because no restaurant is necessarily doing well right now, but they're all surviving. And so I think the biggest thing I like to encourage people to do is you never know when your favorite spot around the corner could be their last Saturday, because, they're not going to talk about it necessarily and how hard they're struggling.
Yeah.
And so if you have the means and you have the opportunity and, even if maybe you're okay with cooking at home and you're totally fine with it, I'm totally fine with cooking for myself, but yet I still get takeout just to support restaurants I care about in my area, even though I can make it myself. And so it's like I want to do my part, and I want to encourage others to just continue to support restaurants, because they're the place where we go for celebrations. We go to gather with friends and family and to come together as a community. So I think it's important that we continue to support them just like they've always supported us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Carrie, you're over at the Ginger Pig right now, and you guys actually opened up a place in the middle of the pandemic.
We did.
So talk about that. That must have been an incredible experience.
So the Ginger Pig opened October 28th, and it's a small little restaurant. We can, with 25% occupancy, that leaves 13 people in our building. So we still rely very heavily on takeout, but, it's a neighborhood spot, and the neighborhood's showing up. We've been busy, and with, people are being... people are being gentle with, we're a new restaurant. We're learning how to change directions every minute of every day, and, just really trying to focus on putting good food out and, letting the neighborhood know that we're there and that we're trying, but it's so far so good.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me this tip early in COVID. I can't remember who it was. I wish I could give them credit, but they were like, if you're thinking about going out to your favorite restaurant, you either can't because they're closed or you're not comfortable with doing it, buy a gift card. If it's a special occasion for you and you would have gone out, buy a gift card and save it. So at least you're spending that money at that restaurant and you're giving it a better chance to be there when this is all over.
Yeah.
And I don't know who gave me that piece of advice, and I loved it. I've shared it with a ton of people, but I think it's like, so, Hillary's anniversary came and went. And so, I bought a $100 gift card for a restaurant in Hyde Park here called Virtue that I love, because I was like, I would have loved to have eaten there for it, but we couldn't. So let's, put it in the books that we're going to eat there at least. And so I've done that a few times over the past, 9 months or so. And I think it's been great.
Well, I want to say, all three of you guys have all been, you've been super generous over the years, coming up and cooking at Bardot with dinners and raising money, and your voices are really important, and it's just great to have you out here. And I know personally, I appreciate each of you, and this is an incredible time that we're living in, and we need leaders like you. So we're gonna take a break here at the Modern Eater. My nachos are done. There they are.
Pretty good.
They look pretty good.
They're cheesy.
Is this going to be too hot for me to pick up? Yeah, I'm going to go like that. All right, boys. There we go. We got Penang nachos. There you go. Beef Penang. All right. Back to the show in just a second.
Hey guys, Alex Armitage over at Sam's number 3 Glendale. You want a Bloody Mary? You want a cheeseburger? You want a breakfast burrito? Greek salad? Bacon gyro meat? Chicken souvlaki? Barbecue ranch salad? We got you covered. Come down and see us. One more time. Try it again. Hey guys, Alex Armitage over here at Sam's number 3 Glendale. Now get your ass to themoderneater.com. Thank you so much.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coupe Vodka and Coupe Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coupe by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey guys, it's Caroline Glover. I'm the chef owner of Annette out at Stanley Marketplace. Citrus is about to be in its prime. I just want to thank everybody for showing so much support to small local restaurants in this really hard time. And you're watching the Modern Eater Show. I'm fine with that.
Back to the show in just a second, but before that, I want to talk to you about A+ Beverage Solutions. Jeff Rourke at A+ Beverage Solutions, he's the best in the business when it comes to installing tap lines. And don't take my word for it. Take the thousands and thousands of locations in the world that he's done it. Punch Bowl Social will fly this guy to California and maybe hang out with Chef Joe a little bit. I don't know. But they'll fly him to California to put in their tap lines. That's telling you something because California has people to put in tap lines. 20 years plus in the business, Jeff Rourke has been doing it and doing it and doing it well. If I were you, I would call Jeff Rourke. 720-272-3809. Grab a pen or put your thinking cap on. I'm going to say it one more time. 720-272-3809. It's Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. Now back to Juan and the show.
Welcome back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado. I am hosting the Modern Eater in lieu of Greg Hollenbeck on vacation, so we're excited to be here with Joe Sasto, Joe Flamm, and Chef Carrie Baird, all from Top Chef, talking about the Chef Fatima Foundation today, which we learned a lot about from her brother Mo, and our nacho cook-off. And we've had quite the debate about nachos, so let's talk about that a little bit more.
Well, Juan, your nachos are pretty good.
Thank you.
I mean, your ratio topping to chip is pretty solid. And your cheese, you didn't hold back. I enjoyed it a lot. And I can also appreciate you laying them out versus the mountain. Yeah. I went with the mountain. Sasto, what's your thought on laying them out in peaks?
I like the aesthetics of the Nacho Mountain. I'm a big fan of conquering Nacho Mountain. But when you do, you have to be thoughtful about it and build the layers.
Yeah, you got to build the layers.
That way you're getting everything in all the layers, and you're just building upwards, and you're not just having naked chips underneath, because naked chips can only get you so far.
It's not a nacho volcano, it's a nacho mountain.
Exactly. Mountains have layers.
Yes. I like the mountain, and my mountain was very thoughtful. Chip, cheese, stuff, chip, cheese, stuff, all the way to the top.
Yeah, your nachos are delicious. And the queso, let's be real, that's the best queso there is.
Hands down.
I absolutely love it. The pork is super salty. You got some spicy on there.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much a salad because there's chopped romaine and
super
cilantro
healthy.
on top of it. Super healthy.
Chef Carrie Baird,
much a salad.
Healthy nachos.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's considered keto where I'm from.
Exactly. Yeah, so over here we did a Thai nacho. We did beef Penang, which is a pretty spicy beef dish from Thailand. And I just did mozzarella cheese. I chopped up some basil, some green onion. And I did a coconut cream, and I just added a little lime to that to balance the heat because the beef is pretty spicy.
It is.
A lot of serrano.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
So that's simple. That's what we did, and I think all the flavors kind of came through pretty well with this. So
yeah.
I did not stack it. I wanted individual nachos.
Hey, Juan.
Nacho plateau.
Jay Parker over here. Juan, in the commercial break, offered me a handful of nachos, and I felt terrible saying no, but it's very important to me that you understand. It's not because I don't think they sound delicious or look delicious. I'm just doing some things. But hearing you describe those, and you know what gets me, Little Rich, and Little Rich is on the camera in case anybody's wondering, is the coconut. Man, if you say coconut, my ears perk up, and it doesn't matter in what fashion.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm half Puerto Rican. I don't know if you guys know this, so coconut has always been a big part of everything I've eaten in my entire life. And we also have incredible coconut rice that we make at Senor Bear. By we, I mean Whiskey Bear at Senor Bear and Mr. Oso. So coconut is incredible. So Boys, amazing. JoeSasto.com. That's where you can sign up for a class, right, Joe?
That's right. Cooking classes, everything you need to know. Or find me on Instagram at chef.joe.sasto. Cats and pasta content nonstop.
Too much cat content.
I do actually like your Instagram. You're a good photographer. Your pastas look incredible. So, Joe Flamm.
You can find me at instaflam.com and on Instagram, insta.flam. Flam Joe on Twitter. Rosemary Chicago for all the updates on the restaurant. You want to check that out on Instagram. That's also our website, Rosemary Chicago. JoeFlam.com has got some pictures of me and pasta. If you're into that sort of thing, it's right up your alley. Otherwise, just show up in Chicago and ask somebody where I am. They'll tell you where to find me.
Yeah. If you ever need to mail anything to Joe Flamm, just write Joe Flamm Chicago, and they know what to do from there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They know what to do.
They'll get it to me.
That's amazing. Boys, you guys are awesome. Chef Carrie Baird, we can find you at the Ginger Pig.
That's where I'm currently cooking at.
Yes, that's where we're currently cooking, and that's super delicious. So
Thank you.
You and Natasha are doing a great job over there. Nachos were incredible.
Yep.
So this was a super fun thing to do. And closing comments on Fati.
Well, on Fati, well, obviously we lost her 2 years ago, and it was very hard. But one thing that I think of is, going on Top Chef, meeting you guys, meeting Fati and everybody else, to come full circle and to go through an experience like this together and then have loss. To have each other, it just is everything. And someone like Fati was so generous with, in her personality and everything she gave, just to be together and, have each other even after her passing is great.
Yeah. Boys, anything to add to that?
I think don't forget about the foundation that Mo had started. I think that's really important. And even if there's nothing that you can give personally out there, follow along, share it, tell your friends. You never know who you may touch with the information about the foundation. Connect with someone that they can help, they can donate, they may have some impact, and maybe someday you can too. But following along, showing your support, and I think that's the best thing we could all do right now.
Let me make sure I have this right. ChefFatimaFoundation.org.
That sounds right.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flamm, closing comments?
Yeah, I think, Fati just, I think we all, knowing her, knew the impact that she had and what the impact she would have had she had even more time. And I think that's kind of left us all with just big shoes to fill and a heavy load to carry. And I think we all know if roles were reversed and, God forbid it was one of us and Fati was still here, she would move mountains to make sure that, we left behind what we wanted. So I think we all kind of feel that debt to her, and we know that we're going to do everything we can to make sure this foundation is a success and does her name well.
Awesome. Thank you guys all very much for being on the show. Really appreciate it. Again, ChefFatimaFoundation.org. Mo said to hold off for a day or two before you go out and donate some money. We're going to put some money in and feed some kids. I think that's important. And it sounds like we're going to have a dinner coming up, maybe in Colorado, with when it gets a little warmer.
Let's do it in the cold. Let's get some turns in.
Yeah, is that what we want to do? All right. Well, we'll do it whenever
nar.
you want. So we got all kinds of space out here. So again, thank you guys. We're going to go to break right here. Coming up, we have a new segment called Where Juan Eats, and I'm pretty excited to debut that today. So.
Hey, you guys, Jay here with the Modern Eater Show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget about our YouTube and Instagram channels. A lot of killer content over there. Throw us a subscribe on YouTube. Throw us a follow on Instagram. And thank you for supporting TME. We couldn't do this without our amazing sponsors, so let's check them out right now.
Very proud to be part of the Modern Eater, and chefs, restaurant owners, any food service operators. I know right now that delivery and carry out is bigger than ever, And we got you covered. Cambro has a full line of delivery and carry-out items. More economical options are expanded polypropylene or EPP, nice insulated container. The ProCard Ultra is really versatile. It's a great unit because you can actually store cold products down here, hot products up here. It's all 120. There's no refrigeration worries. It's all thermodynamics. Just let us know what your food service challenges are, what it is we can do to help you out, and there isn't anything that we can't do for you. So hope to see you over here at our facility in Park Hill soon, and stay safe out there.
You know, everybody, with several $1 million of hard assets here, insurance is very, very important to us. Ewing Levitt covers it all. Machinery, building, workman's comp. Ewing Levitt's got us covered from the floor to the ceiling, from our alley, even to the street. This divider, this press, my cooling conveyor, my oven. Ow, ow. Ewing Levitt covers our counter stacker and our employees too. If you need insurance, take it from Little Rich at Rockalitas. Call Ewing Levitt, they'll get you covered.
I go home, I strip down to my skivvies. All right, here we go. I got it. Hey everybody, Steve Gould from Golden Moon Distillery and Golden Moon Speakeasy. When I get my cocktails to go from Golden Moon Speakeasy, I go home, I kick back, and I watch The Modern Eater. Skivvies. Hey, I'm a Marine. It's skivvies, man.
Back to the show in just a second, but you know what time it is? It's time for bread, baby. That is right, bread. Now listen, when they're making nachos, nachos are great, and I love nachos, but all I could think about is taking all those beautiful ingredients and sprinkling them over some Aspen Baking fresh bread. AspenBaking.com is where you go to get that fresh bread, you guys. Since 1994, they've been baking the freshest bread in the city. They're the definition of local. They're the definition of good, right? You like chemicals? Well, then don't go there because they don't put them in there. If you like artificial coloring, or if you like to freeze your bread before you eat it, then don't go to Aspen because they don't do that either. AspenBaking.com. If you're a chef and you have a restaurant and you don't have the means to bake your own bread, even though you want to, Aspen Baking is where you go to where you can feel good about the product. You can feel good about its quality. You can feel good about who's baking it, and you can feel good about the business that's behind it. And it's AspenBaking.com. And now back to the show, and Juan has a new segment he's premiering, man, and this is going to be fun. Go ahead, Juan.
Welcome to Studio Kitchen, Colorado, home of the Modern Eater, and I am here with Chef Carrie Baird, who is co-hosting, and we had an incredible show today with in honor of the Chef Fatima Foundation. I'm going to say that again, chefFatimaFoundation.org. Please go out and check that out. Super important mission. And it was exciting to have Joe Sasto, Joe Flamm, and Chef Baird from Top Chef. That was an exciting season, and every time these folks get together, it's a good time. And we made nachos, and we talked shop, and we talked philanthropy. We got some great tortilla chips from Rockalitas, so thank you, Little Rich. So awesome, incredible colors and all kinds of different stuff. He made special tortillas for us today, so this is a super special show. So I'm really excited to debut Where Juan Eats today, and we went to Edgewater Market to eat at Konjo Ethiopian, which is one of my favorite places in all of Colorado to eat. There's a family that has been that started out with a food truck, and now they have a catering company, and they have their food stall at the Edgewater Market, which is right off Sheridan near Sloan's Lake. So I hope you enjoy. How you doing? I'm here with my friend Chris Warren, and we are on the Modern Eater Show. And Chris is an advanced scout for the Colorado Rockies, and we love going out and checking out new places. And we're at one of my favorites today, Konjo Ethiopian, over in the Edgewater Marketplace with my friend Galila and Fetien. And they are amazing cooks, and this is one of my favorite places to eat in all of Colorado. And I hope that you guys fall in love with it like I have. So, Galila.
Hi.
Hi.
Tell me what Konjo means.
Onjo translates into beautiful in the Ethiopian language of Amharic. So black is Onjo, black is beautiful.
That's amazing.
Amen.
Awesome. And your food is gorgeous. It's colorful. It's tasty. It's healthy.
Super healthy.
Which
That's
is
the best
amazing
part.
thing. So, which is why I come over here and eat here. It tastes good and it's healthy, which is typically a not a combination that you always find.
True.
So, but Ethiopian food is some of the heartiest, most delicious food, in my opinion, that's out there. So,
Allie? Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about what you guys are cooking.
Is that to me? That's to me. Right on. Well, so one of our most popular items is our loaded fries. You can load up our French fries, potato wedges, with any of your selections. And it's just so darn good.
What do you have there? What's going on there?
This is our yellow split peas simmered in turmeric. High in deliciousness, health, the works, you know? It just has it all.
Chris,
and they
you think
also
that'll
got
fill you up or what?
I'm going to go right behind you too.
Everything down here will fill me up.
Yeah.
I love it all.
Right behind you?
So tell me about this. Ethiopians don't typically make burritos, but you guys make Ethiopian burritos, and they're absolutely awesome.
I mean, we grew up with burritos in our house.
Okay.
Shout out to being Americanized, you know, that was great.
All right.
So it's like, it's a normal thing for us.
Awesome. How many brothers and sisters in your family?
I am one of 12.
12.
Yes, and I'm on like the bottom of the food chain,
Okay.
but they say I have the most
So there's
sass.
a food chain. You're at the top of the food chain, Fetienne?
Allegedly.
Okay. So what does that mean? Does that mean that when Fetienne talks, you listen?
It means I never learned how to fight, to be honest. I think that's what that is. Just got punked left and right. That's it.
Amazing.
Yes. You know, just a few.
Amazing. Well, Chris, what do you
Few.
think? Let's see if we can watch something get cooked over here.
Today, it's going to be a good time.
Awesome. What are we going to make?
Well, I'm just going to double check with my lovely woman over here. Ma'am, I see 25 minutes for Christian, but is that for Jody actually? No. Oh, so Jody wants hers right now?
No, Christian wants 25 minutes.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay, cool. Right on. We're going to make a breakfast burrito, guys. Our
Awesome.
vegan burritos. I mean, if I told you to move, would you listen? Just kidding. You're fine. You're totally fine. You're doing great, you know? But yeah, we're just making
All
our
right.
breakfast burritos. It's really, our vegan breakfast burritos are the most popular. And I just love the butter that goes in it. So oil, butter, and I just get that started, you know?
Is that like ghee?
Yeah.
Okay. Really cool.
What does that translate into? What language or culture is that again? Yeah.
That's
that
right.
makes sense. Oh,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Awesome.
Sorry. Cool. What else?
So what do we got here in this veggie mix?
Oh, this is our base, and this is just a lot easier for me. So I have garlic, onions, tomatoes, and red onions. Wait, I said that? Jalapenos. Did I
And
say that one?
jalapenos.
Yes.
Amazing. So a little spicy.
Just get
Is
that in
Ethiopian food typically spicy?
No. Well, depending on who makes it, then absolutely. We like to focus more on flavor than
Okay.
like an overwhelming spice, because if
Okay.
it's too spicy, you
So
can't
not
enjoy
spicy hot, but spicy in terms of bringing out interesting flavors.
it. Yes, because you're
Okay.
gonna smell it before you even taste it.
Okay.
That's always my test. If it smells spicy, I'm like, I need to brace myself.
Okay.
Get some milk in my system.
Okay.
It's gonna be real.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing. So we got eggs.
Yes. Real eggs.
Real eggs.
That's what they call it.
Okay.
Jay, do you want me to move that trash can behind you?
So vegetarian burrito.
Vegetarian. Our vegan burritos have our spiced red lentils, yellow rice, which is just like a touch of turmeric,
Okay.
spinach with potatoes, and French fries.
Awesome.
It's just so good, you
Okay.
know?
So you can decide whether or not you want to be vegan or you want to be vegetarian.
Yeah.
Or how much is meat prevalent in the Ethiopian cuisine?
Meat is very prevalent. There's no pork
Okay.
throughout Ethiopia. Like the last time I was there, I saw pigs, and I was like, who's eating this? But it was for all the foreigners, which I thought was fascinating, that they just imported pigs for everyone else.
For tourists?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There was like a whole farm, and I was like, every religion in Ethiopia doesn't eat pork. So I thought it was just a really interesting thing to come across, you know?
Huh.
I'm gonna
So if you're going to
slide
go
right by
to
you, sir.
if you're going to go to Ethiopia,
Yeah.
right? Where are there different regional cuisines around Ethiopia?
There are.
Okay.
There are. And I'm from the north side. But there's plenty of options all over.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Chris. Yep. Chris is an advanced scout for the Colorado Rockies. And what he does is he goes and he evaluates players and he evaluates teams and he prepares his team to play. Is there any similarity between how you choose to go out to eat at a restaurant when you go out? Do you have an evaluation process, considering that's your mindset and everything else that you do?
Most of all, I'm a creature of habit, and most baseball players are. So, if I find something I truly like, and a good restaurant that has good ambiance and just good scenery and great food, good service, it's going to be a place I will probably go to more times than not.
Have you had Ethiopian food before?
Yes, and
awesome.
it is unbelievable. It is probably one of the more filling meals I've ever had.
Okay.
Chris is technically Ethiopian.
He's
he just doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know it yet.
Awesome. So are you indoctrinating him into the Ethiopian culture?
I don't know if I have that type of power, but you're welcome, okay? You're welcome to hang.
I'll take it.
There you go. Well, this is amazing. We love watching you cook, and we're looking forward to eating some food.
Yes. Let's do it, guys.
Fetien, who is the owner of Konjo Ethiopian, and we just learned that Konjo means beautiful, and look at this food. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Fetien, walk us through what this is.
You got it. So traditionally in Ethiopia, our staple is an Ethiopian flatbread called injera. So it's made out of barley and a grain called teff, and it's fermented, so it's like a sourdough taste to it. So from start to finish, it's about a 3 to 4 day process, right? So it comes out almost like a crepe, like a round griddle type crepe.
Okay.
You roll it up, you put some on the bottom, put your sauces on top, and then you have your rolls on the side with which you use to eat. So your hands are actually your utensils.
Okay, so
Right?
traditionally in Ethiopia, you're not using one of these guys.
No, you can. We won't make fun of you. But definitely use your hands as your utensils, all right?
Awesome.
You break up a piece. Here
Okay.
we have a spiced red lentil
Let's do
called
this.
misarwet. And then you have chicken tips. And this is almost like a stir fry, so saute with onions, garlic, jalapenos,
So
tomatoes.
just go in like this?
Go for it, yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
so I'm going to grab some chicken.
Yep.
And some lentils.
Yep, and scoop it up.
Scoop it all up right in this bread right here.
There you go.
And
Wait for all the deliciousness.
Oh, oh, so good.
So good. So that one is your
Amazing.
chicken. And then here you're going to have your beef. And then you have lamb. So all different types of tips. So basically cubed meat, saute with all the onions and the veggies. And it's so damn good, okay? Yes.
He ate my chicken, by the
Yeah,
way.
you did eat his chicken. That was his specific one, but that's okay. I'm not mad at you.
I
I'm
know
not
they're
mad.
getting after me, and I
it looks so
can't
good.
really talk right now because I have my mouth full with all this delicious food.
And it has a nice little kick to it, you know?
Yeah, and Ethiopian food traditionally, is really healthy. I mean, these
Very
are like
healthy.
lean meats, and you have
Absolutely.
spinach and lots of vegetables.
You got it. So it's all locally sourced meats, right? And then everything is gluten-free, soy-free, nut-free. All of our veggies are dairy-free,
Mhm.
and everything is succa-free, okay?
Amazing.
Yes.
Chris, get in there.
I think I will.
Tell me what you think. Are you gonna go American traditional?
I'm not. I'm going with the.
Go with that?
Yes.
Yep. Put that on. It's all good. Break it off a piece.
Yep. Scoop it right up.
Mm-hmm. There you go. And so it's going to have
He's good at
almost
that.
like a
Look at that.
sourdough
Boom.
taste to it, you know?
No mess at all. I have food all over the place right here. Chris just cleans it up. Precision athlete.
Has a little kick. Got that water, yep.
Got a little kick to
It does have a little kick to
This
it.
is unbelievable.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're very nice and flavorful, so it's nice to come out and eat something that's different,
Mhm.
kind of outside of the norm.
Right.
And I like that it's it's right on par and trending with different health and dietary needs.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So do you get people that come and they're just like, hey, I want healthy food, and they identify Ethiopian with healthy food, or is that something that's an education process that?
I think it's a bit of an education process, but what they really like about Ethiopian food and Eritrean food is that it has lots of veggie options. Right? So coincidentally enough, our biggest seller is our veggie combo.
Is that right?
Yes, it is. So
Yeah.
people come in for their veggies and they know that it's a vegan, so they can come somewhere where it's hearty and it's not just a salad or just
Okay.
pasta or just pizza. It's actually something that's good for you.
Okay.
It's made fresh, from scratch, and sent out to you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about this.
Oh, sambusa.
So you see this in
It's
other
my
cultures as well.
favorite.
These are almost like a patty.
Mm-hmm. Almost
Okay.
like an empanada,
Uh-huh.
right? Similar to like a samosa.
Right.
So this is stuffed with brown lentils, Ethiopian seasoning called some kororima, some onions, some garlic, jalapenos.
Okay.
And then we deep fry it, so it's in a little egg roll wrapper.
Okay.
Deep fried, and you dip it into our house-made awaze hot sauce.
So we want to if I'm gonna look at
Yeah,
this.
look at that.
Jay, look at this. All these lentils, super healthy. Amazing.
So although the filling is vegan, but the
Okay.
outside wrap contains egg, so it's more vegetarian.
Which I'm allergic to, but I'm going to have a little bit of egg.
Heck yes.
So, all right, tell me about this again.
This is our Awaze hot sauce.
Okay.
House made.
So it's going to be hot.
A little bit of a kick, not too much, you know?
Mm.
We try to make our food honestly more flavorful than spicy so that everyone can enjoy it. And if you want an extra kick, we'll put it on the side
This
for you.
is like light and delicious. It eats really well.
It's so good.
Yeah. A lot of times these things fall apart. This is awesome.
Thank you.
You should try this. Here.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
Try with the hot sauce?
Yeah, the hot sauce is really good.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's not like overly like burn your mouth hot.
It's not.
It just the flavor lingers in your mouth. It's
Yeah.
really an interesting eating experience.
It might just kind of creep up on you for a little bit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The back of your throat. But yes.
Yummy, right?
A little tangy, but it's good.
It's great.
Yeah.
So, what do you cook for your family?
For my family, we love shuro.
Okay, tell me about
So
that.
shuro what? We actually just had a virtual cooking class.
Uh-huh.
So ever since the pandemic hit, we were trying to, pivot and kind of do things that are a bit more creative.
Mhm.
So we had our third class last night, in which we made shuro what, which that is S-H-I-R-O, shuro, what, W-O-T, meaning a stew, and it's made of powdered chickpeas.
Okay.
Right, so it's powdered chickpeas and literally onions, garlic, ginger, tomatoes. Kind of sweat it down, add the powder, some water, mix it, boom, that's it.
Okay.
Literally. And then it's almost like a stew, goes right over the injera. It's one of the easiest things to make. It is a staple in Ethiopian households.
So you're doing these cooking classes online?
We are.
Okay.
Through a Zoom.
All right.
So we have our classes through our website. We go to our shop page and kind of just add on to it. Our next one is for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
we have
wow.
some couples signing
Okay.
up, and it's really open
What's
to
your
anyone. www.onjoethiopianfood.com.
Okay. And you guys do catering?
We do catering. We started as a catering company.
I know. I
right?
remember
So
you
in
got the
2008.
food truck actually
Yes.
as well.
So we started as Onjo Catering, and then I took on my business partner, Yosef.
Uh-huh.
Him and I launched the Ethiopian food truck, the first of its kind here in Colorado.
Okay.
And then we just kind of moved forward and opened up the first ever fast casual Ethiopian restaurant.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I got a question for you. Let's say I'm at home sitting on my couch one night and I'm craving this food. How do I get it?
You just give us a call. You can call us. You can order online. We're also on all the third-party delivery apps,
Okay.
all of them, and we're open 7 days a week. Yeah.
I may be your best customer.
You better come on through.
So amazing.
Okay. Better come on through. Thank you, sweetie. That was great.
Love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
Well, Fetien, this is amazing. For Chris Warren and Fetien, the owner of Konjo Ethiopian, this is where Juan eats. Absolutely delicious.
Go ahead.
Welcome back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado, home of the Modern Eater Show. Juan Padró sitting in for Greg Hollenbeck with my co-host, Chef Carrie Baird from Top Chef Colorado, Bardo, Ginger Pig, all these cool places. She's been everywhere and done a great job everywhere she's been. And Chef Blake Stein, who's here from the Culinary Quick Start program at Emily Griffith School, yes? Correct. All right, awesome, man. We're excited to have you guys here. Actually, just finished up Where Juan Eats on Konjo Ethiopian in the Edgewater Market. I love Ethiopian food. I hear you love Ethiopian food, Blake. What do you think?
Big shout out to Galila and Fetien, man. We love those girls down at Konjo. They've been a supporter of the Culinary Quick Start program since probably about 2.5 years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they do some hiring from you guys?
Yeah, they sure did. And we had them come in and guest chef us during some competitions that we had during the class, and they were phenomenal judges.
Yeah, they're incredible, incredible women. Carrie, have you ever had the opportunity to eat
I
at
haven't.
Konjo? Yeah, well, we're going to take you there for lunch one day. It's pretty incredible stuff, and even more incredible women running that. So, and I thought, to myself when I was there yesterday, I remember when they had their catering company and a food truck on 27th and Larimer outside of the Meadowlark Kitchen, and just working their butts off, and it's cool to see them in a stall. And I think they've handled this COVID thing incredibly well, and they continue to put out some of the best food for me in the city. So, Culinary Quick Start, man. I called you guys the other day. Did you know that?
Yeah, I got a note from Keo up in our marketing team.
That's right. Yeah, Kio's great. She's a longtime friend, and she's been an advocate of Culinary Quick Start. And we're doing some hiring. Actually, Blake is doing some hiring over at Mr. Oso. And we thought, you know what, we've got a role that we really think would be great for somebody from your program. So tell us a little bit more about the program and what the goal of the program is. And
Sure, absolutely. So we are a 3-week training program trying to either encourage or inspire cooks to take the jump into cooking food, and experience this culinary career, and just get as much out of it as we put into it and we love it. Or also to bring back cooks that might be a little bit displaced from COVID, try to get them sharpened up and get their skills honed back in, maybe renew their serve safes, all within a 3-week span. And we teach a whole bunch of fundamentals, knife skills, just how to make soups, stocks, everything from the ground up.
Okay.
And then into some more incorporated recipes that are a little bit more difficult and different techniques and stuff like that. And
okay, so when somebody's hired from Culinary Quick Start, we can expect that they're going to have a refresher on the basics. Some people may have been chefs before or may have been line cooks before and just gone for a refresher, you're saying?
Absolutely.
Others are new and just trying to get into a new career, and you're trying to inspire them to do, what I consider to be some of the most incredible work in the world. So
it's had my heart since I was a teenager,
That's right.
How do students find you? Like if they were displaced by COVID or want to get their foot in the door?
We have a pretty aggressive advertising campaign going on. I think we're on Spotify. I think we do some YouTube stuff too. We're pretty much all over the place. A lot of word of mouth. A lot of students that take the class, we always tell them, if your friends and family are interested in cooking food and you might want to try it for a job, come seek us out and we'll help you get a job.
Real quick, what's your background?
I've been cooking since I was a teenager. I grew up out here in Aurora, worked all over Denver Metro, up in the mountains quite a few times.
Okay, so they're going to get some good mentorship.
Yeah, or from a local guy too, even so.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on and talking to us about Culinary Quick Start. We're excited, to get some kids going, and as we continue to grow our restaurant group, staffing is one of the great challenges that you have, especially in the back of the house. To be honest with you, and anybody that's educating and inspiring young kids, I mean, that's amazing to me. So.
Well, thank you very much.
Awesome. So, Carrie.
Yes?
What do you think?
Just to go back on hiring, it's so hard. We had so many cooks displaced during COVID.
That's right.
And, we're ramping back up, and here comes the need to rehire them. So we need to find, passionate people who want to come and join our ranks, So there's a challenge in front of us.
So let me ask you something. When you're hiring as a chef, do you look what's the most important characteristic in somebody who's young that comes to you? Is it experience? Is it passion? What is it?
For me, if I get a resume, it comes across, I look for, longevity. I want to see that somebody can stay in a kitchen for a certain amount of time. If I see, lots of spots here and there, it's a red flag for me. If somebody has the passion, I can teach them to be the cook that I need them to be.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for passion, I'm looking for commitment, and those are the most important things for me.
What do you tell a young kid who's 3 weeks through Culinary Quick Start program, and he sees a job open for you, and she's like, "Oh my God, she's a top chef. She'll never hire me." What do you say?
Heck yeah, I'll hire you. Yes, of course. I mean, I went to culinary school, and it brought me a lot of good. But honestly, what really just sealed the deal is the job I went to at night after class. Working on the line, burning myself, cutting my fingers, and just doing those reps for years. That's when you get strong.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to, put yourself out there. Find yourself a chef that is kind and willing to be patient and teach you. And that will, let a technical school like that, or not a little class, but an important class, get you there. But then find a mentor to take you the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's great advice. Great advice, not only for chefs, but I think for anybody who's young and trying to get out there in the world. And, we're in a much different, world than we were 18 months ago.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm super optimistic. I love what you're doing. I love you. It's great to see you.
Me too. Love you too. Thanks for having me. We love the Modern Eater.
We do. We do. ChefFatimaFoundation.org. Let's not forget about that. That is the most important thing that we talked about on the show today. And we are excited to promote and support that organization. It was great to have Joe Flamm from Top Chef. You guys are great friends, so it's so cool to see you guys interact.
Yep.
And Raquelitas with all these incredible tortillas. Thank you. I know. I'm going to hold this up one more time. This is like this purple clove and hibiscus tortilla. I've never heard of this.
It makes a delicious nacho.
It makes a delicious nacho. And I want to make a dessert nacho with it. So Raquelitas, you guys are killing it. Elevation Food and Service, Culinary Quick Start at Emily Griffith. This is the Modern Eater Show. I'm super excited to be here for 4 more episodes, and we're off.
Hey, well, not just yet. It's not going to be that easy. Do me a favor, Juan. You get the feeling that little Rich Snyder over at Raquelitas Tortillas knows what he's doing, don't you, when you eat his chips? Talk a little bit about the shows that are coming up. You know, who are some of the people they're lining up? What's the theme? And then we'll put a ribbon on
Jay,
this
I'm
thing.
glad you asked. Amanda Faison, who I have great admiration for. She was the editor of 5280 magazine. She's currently with Dining Out. She will be co-hosting with me on Wednesday. And we have Adrian Miller, who is known as the Soul Food Scholar, who's a James Baird award-winning author who lives right here in Colorado, going to come talk about his new book, Black Smoke. And we're going to kick off Black History Month. We're going to talk a little bit about some issues there and really what life needs to look like moving forward to have an inclusive and diverse society and workforce. I think that's extremely important. Friday, we're going to be doing a Super Bowl special. And the Super Bowl special is going to be co-hosted by Ryan Harris, who's a Super Bowl champion, who is an analyst for Notre Dame football. So he played for the Broncos, obviously in 2015. I think that's when they won the Super Bowl. I'm a Patriots fan, so I lose track of that stuff.
He pretends not to know.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll have some celebrity guests on talking Super Bowl, and Chef Brother Luck is going to come up and cook.
Oh, fun!
So he's going to cook some Super Bowl food, and we're super excited to see Brother. So those are the next 2 shows, and then there's going to be more episodes of What Juan Eats. We're excited to share a couple other kind of secret spots that I go to, and I absolutely love in and around the Denver area. We're actually going to go out to Aurora tomorrow. So
Let me just throw out there too, if you're somebody that just heard that and go like, I want to watch Where Juan Eats, but you maybe don't want to just skim through the show when we played it and try to find it, you can go to themoderneater.com and you can go to the Modern Eater's YouTube page, and then that clip alone stands alone, so somebody can just consume where you were at the Konjo Ethiopian.
Yeah, and I'll put that link up on my Instagram as well. It's at jpod16. In the next couple hours, I'll put the link up there, and hopefully you can go out there and view it there. Carrie Baird, how can people find you on Insta?
Insta, I'm at Chef Carrie B, and then I have a chefcarrieb.com website too. And just like Joe Sasto, I've been doing virtual cooks and classes and things like that, which have been fun. And if you just want to come and eat some food, I'm at the Ginger Pig right now.
Awesome. Ginger Pig is incredible. I look forward to going up there again. So this is the Modern Eater. Thanks for having me on, Jay.
Hey, thank you, Juan. You did a great job, and we'll see everybody Wednesday.
Awesome.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Hi, I'm Amber with Strohauer Farms, and I'm just here to remind you that the best potatoes are grown here in Colorado. Goodness elevated. Thanks for watching the Modern Eater Show.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Nations from Aspen Baking Company. It's really important right now to support local. That's why I support the Modern Eater. Now, back to the show.